Did you want the three key principles that will allow you to generate eternal riches on this side of eternity? If so, you're in the right place. Let's go ahead and get started. The path to eternal riches on this side of eternity has to do with these three powerhouse principles stored in the Bible. I was in my prayer time with the Lord, and He sat down with me and told me something absolutely amazing. And I'm going to share it with you here today. And if you're new to this channel, please subscribe, share this video with a friend, and also click on the notification bell so that as we post new content, you'll get to know when those things come out. Now, the thing that the Lord had talked to me about is very key, because what we're going to cover are three core principles that allow you to scale and build a business month over month, year over year, decade over decade. And it's very key. So if you're going to take some notes, go ahead and do so, because it's going to blow you away. Because some of these things are going to seem obvious, but it's the package and how it's put together that allows you to move forward in total victory. The most important thing that when you go into a business, that you must be able to sell something that someone actually wants. When you go into business for yourself or for others, you're always caught in a situation where you'll want to do cool things. You want to do what's fad, what's hip, what's interesting, and maybe even something that you yourself would buy. But if you're actually doing something, selling something, a service, a product that no one wants to buy, you're not going to get any traction in the marketplace. And I know that may sound harsh, but it's very key to recognize that whenever you're in a business, you want to be in a position where you're able to move something forward that allows people to purchase it. It sounds silly, but it's very true. There are so many people out there that try to create a business based upon the things that they like to do. And then ultimately, when they go to sell it, there's no sales. Whether you walk into a crowded market where there's too many people in that place, or you go into a place where no one knows who you are and you're not trusted, it's very important that you start to sell something that someone wants, because it's so important. Now, this principle actually comes from the Bible in Luke 19:13. It says, calling 10 of his servants, he gave them 10 minas and said to them, engage in business until I come. Now, one of the things I want to recognize is a mina was worth about 3 months of wages. So it was a total of 30 months worth of wages in this verse. You're going to see as you move forward in faith and in trust, you'll see that God's going to provide the income for you in order to make this work. But you can't be going rogue and doing something that's not aligned with His will or not done under His biblical principles. Otherwise, you're just going to shift off into a space where He's no longer gracing you to work, and therefore you'll continue to just struggle. Number two is you must be able to develop a team of people who are loyal to the cause at hand. This is going to be very key, because what will happen is God's going to put an opportunity. He's going to put a vision. He's going to put knowledge inside of you. And what happens is in that moment, what will occur is that you will then have the basically the destination, you'll have this finish line in which you'll be able to try to accomplish. But what will happen is that you will not know the path to get there. And in fact, when it's a God-sized vision, you can't do it by yourself. You always have to have other people come along and help you along the way. So that's critical. This concept comes from Exodus 31 verses 3-5, because God does as He shows that He is the source of wisdom and knowledge for all people. They were building this beautiful tent of meeting for God to come in and just sit with His presence with the people of Israel after the Exodus. But they didn't know how to do things like metallurgy. There was a jewelry. There was all kinds of even physics and chemistry that was involved. Carpentry. They were slaves in Egypt. They were basically building and making bricks. And now God imbues this wisdom and knowledge upon the people in order for them to be able to come together, to be loyal to the cause at hand, and then do the work that was called for. That's the essence of what God's trying to do. So you have to be able to understand at your level, as if you're starting your business, what you need to do is you need to work your way backwards and understand enough to be able to get started, but to know that you're going to have to hire people that are going to start to take on work from you so that they can continue to steward these things in your place so that you could focus on a narrow area, go deeper, and be more successful. And it's key. because you're never going to get to the destination that God wants you to do by yourself. And then number three is you got to create a culture that keeps the vision at hand and in front of the people. If you don't do that, what will happen is that you will start to move people away from where they're actually working. And it's so hard to stay oriented to the things that you need to do. It's very key. And in Proverbs 22:29 talks about this is, do you see a man skillful in his work? He will stand before kings. He will not stand before obscure men. It says skillful in his work. In order to become skillful, you have to stay and master something. You have to get good at it. You have to become really good at it. That vision is key, because as your team is starting to develop and grow, they must be able to continue to move forward and understand how to get better every single week, every single month. They can't stay stagnant, because what happens is when you start to get stagnated, there's no forward path for you. And then what happens is you start to plateau. This also comes from Ecclesiastes 9:10. In the first half of the verse, it says, whatever your hand finds to do, do it with all your might. That's so key. You must be able to continue to move forward in excellence, in that spirit of trust, in the spirit of hope, so that you can accomplish all the things that you want to do. And so when you start to look at this summary of what God wants you to do, He really wants you to understand is, number one, you need to be able to create and sell something that someone ultimately needs or wants. You have to have, number two, a team of people that will help you, that stays loyal to the cause at hand and continues to move forward. And then number three, you've got to create that culture, that vision that keeps everyone oriented, focused on the same goal, so that they can master the skills that they need. And when you take a step back and you look at this, what you see is that God's going to give you the wealth, the skill, and the people to do it. All you've got to do is do it with all your heart and all your might. And when you apply these biblical principles, these three powerhouse principles, you're going to find a huge success in all you do. I really enjoyed talking about this message with you today. I hope you were able to find something awesome as a part of this. Please share this video with some friends so that they can continue to see all the amazing things that God's doing in your life and the things that you will continue to do for the kingdom of the Lord.